Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. So I've never actually reviewed a fragrance by the brand Halloween before. I always make it a point to smell their creations whenever I'm in a Perfumania or something like that, or maybe the perfume store that's in my local mall. But this time I'm actually having the opportunity to review their brand new fragrance. Just came out this year in 2021. This one is called Halloween Man Hero. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of the brand new 2021 citrus-based Halloween Man Hero, on the side it even says jump into the blue. So I think that kind of gives away that this is going to be a summer-oriented fragrance. I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews just like this, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you got to do is click on that red button in the corner. It's absolutely free. I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you could enable notifications by clicking on the bell to ensure that whenever I do put out these videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed, that would really mean a lot to me. And so this is a fragrance that I recently had the opportunity to discover. This actually isn't my bottle. This belongs to a fellow fragrance reviewer. His name is Chris. He has a channel called Casual Fragrances. So shout out to you, Chris. Thank you for lending me this bottle for review. I really appreciate that. And I looked at the note breakdown and it was pretty interesting. So there are some floral notes or aquatic notes. There's also grapefruit in the opening, amber extreme in the base. So these C notes in combination with like the cashmere, the woods, the florals, all of that, I think comes together to form a fragrance that is very accessible. I think has a very high batting average in terms of compliments. And I initially thought this was going to be kind of similar to Bulgari's Tiger just because of that C note and grapefruit combination. I'm going to let you know what my final verdict is and if I think it even comes close to Bulgari's Tiger. But let's start things off with the presentation. So right in the opening of this fragrance, it opens up really bright, really fresh, and it also has this unique molecule called Amber Extreme in the base of the fragrance, which can come across a little sweet, a little ambery, a little dry as well. And it's actually also used in a fragrance by Amouage called Enclave. And although that fragrance has some boozy nuances, I find it to be kind of similar to Creation E or Enigma by Navitus Parfums. That fragrance is very different. And even the ambery nuances in this are so mild. And I say that because I think the freshness is really where it's at with this fragrance. So it opens up with that really bright combination of grapefruit and bergamot. And it's a really refreshing citrus fragrance. I think it's so easy to wear, so easy to pull off. It's definitely like the type of fragrance that is going to get you compliments. And there's a touch of sweetness in the base on account of that Amber Extreme. I don't know if there's any tonka bean in here, but I'm sure if I look on the back, it'll probably say coumarin somewhere here. And yeah, sure enough, there is coumarin in here. So there's probably a little bit of that tonka bean vibe happening alongside with the Amber Extreme that's kind of putting it in this sort of modern, masculine, conventional territory. Nothing wrong with that. I think if you're looking for a fragrance that is sure to garner compliments, something that has a sort of mass appeal about it, and something that can be pulled off very comfortably in a wide variety of scenarios, I think this would be your ideal pick. Now, in terms of that floral, fresh, aquatic, and grapefruit combination, I thought to myself, is this going to smell anything like Bulgari Tiger 21 Conduit Street by Jovoy, or even Burlington 1819 by Navitus Parfums? And unfortunately for me, the answer is no. I love Bulgari Tiger. I think it has a very unique sort of bright grapefruit sort of an opening, and then it has like this almost leathery dry down that I really enjoy, and I think it adds a lot of points for uniqueness to the fragrance. This one is a little bit more on the side of like a mall scent. And so it comes across smelling a little bit more expected, a little bit more conventional. But again, if you're looking for something that is very functional, if you're looking for the type of fragrance that can be worn in a wide variety of scenarios, nothing too special per se, but something that I think will give you that sort of fresh yet slightly sweet vibe, I think this one would be a really good pick for you. Now, if I had to make a comparison to any other fragrance, it's actually quite hard. Initially, I thought Bleu de Chanel because that also has grapefruit, and this one is along that fresh territory. But the more I think about it, I think it's a little bit closer to Invictus Aqua. And I say that only because of that bright, fresh feel with that coumarin vibe. Now, I do find Invictus Aqua to be a little bit sweeter. And so this isn't a carbon copy of any other fragrance on the market per se, but I think it borrows from a lot of really successful designer fragrance, thus lending this fragrance the likability that it has. At times, I almost kind of get like a Nautica Voyage vibe from it, like it comes across smelling very fresh, very clean. But of course, this is a little bit on the sweeter side of things. And so it has that nautical or that aquatic aspect, touch of sweetness in there to, I think, expand the versatility somewhat. I think had it been a pure freshie, I think this one could have been worn casually above all. But I think because of that touch of sweetness, I can see people actually wearing this in perhaps a romantic setting or like a date night scenario or something like that. But anyway, it's a really nice fragrance, really pleasant, especially if the price is right. I think it would make for a really great gift, and nobody is going to take offense to this fragrance when you're around them and you're wearing it. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this DNA is something that I've smelled before a few times. It's almost like if you took Nautica Voyage and made it a little bit sweeter, added a little bit of like an ambery backbone. That's kind of what I'm getting from here. And you know, you can compare this to a lot of fragrances out there, YSL's YO Fresh or Invictus Aqua, or any number of fragrances that kind of give you like a touch of sweetness with this explosion of citrus in the opening. That's kind of what you're getting from this. So it's really, really pleasant. And I think there are many people out there that'll find this one to be appealing. I don't think it's totally unique. I think it's a DNA that has been experimented with many times on the market, but hey, you know, kudos to the brand Halloween. I'm very happy to see them adding this type of a DNA to their lineup. I think that's awesome. In terms of the longevity of this fragrance, I think it's gonna last on your skin about 6 to 7 hours. That citrus explosion, of course, is gonna die out after like the first hour or something like that. And then you're gonna get this sort of cashmeron, ambery, dried down with a touch of woods. Projection is great for the first hour and a half. It actually will radiate beyond an arm's length, especially if you're quite liberal with the sprayer. In terms of the versatility, I think you can wear this one dressed up, dressed down. I think it would work really well in the hotter weather just because of that abundant citrus that you're gonna find in the opening. But I suppose if you're wearing it in a climate-controlled environment, you can really wear this one all year round. And yeah, it does lean a little bit masculine, but if you're a confident woman and you like these types of fragrances, by all means, please wear it happily. These are just recommendations. We should all wear what we love and what makes us happy. And in terms of the presentation, it had a little bit of like a rainbow coloration on the bottle. And so that didn't, I think, immediately convey what this fragrance was going to smell like. And then of course the text on the side, I think, made it a little more apparent that it's a blue scent. But my final verdict on this fragrance is if you're looking for something that is accessible, something that is functional, something with a high versatility, if you're a fan of citrus, but you want a citrus-based fragrance with just a touch of sweetness in the base, nothing as strong as like a Stronger With You or the citrusy flanker of that. I think it's called Freeze, right? Stronger With You Freeze. This one is not as sweet as that fragrance. And so if you're looking for something that has less sweetness in it, but also a ton of citrus, definitely check this fragrance out. I hope it's to your liking. And if you've had the opportunity to try Halloween Man Hero, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of it. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you dislike it? I'm always curious to hear from my subscribers. If you enjoyed this video and you took something of value from this review, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. 60% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. If you could just hit that red button, it would really mean a lot to me. People keep asking me, why do you keep mentioning this in your video? Well, it's because 60% of you are not subscribed. So if you could subscribe, it would really mean a lot. And if you can give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, that would help tremendously. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.